Good morning. I think this morning I really love the Matthew got you already into groups. So I want to start with some questions. I'm going to put up there in a minute. And we're going to discuss them for 5 minutes, and then we're going to have some time, and then we're going to have some more questions at the end. So the first questions I have, they're very small questions, like who is God? Who is God? What are some attributes or characteristics of God and his nature? And how do you know that it is God? There is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. There is just answers, and there's just being together and answering together. So go in your groups. If they don't come up there, I'll repeat them again. I think there were some people missing here, so if you want to join this group, Matthew, or that group. Oh, you go there. You go wherever you want. So the questions were, he's giving away. Who is God? What are some attributes or characteristics of God and his nature? And how do you know that it is God? If you say that some of his characteristic is love, how do you know it is God? Go for it. I thought they would, but it's okay. They're coming. Adam is doing amazing this morning, stepping up on the PA. Thanks, Adam. He's a great PA person. Well, you can start with the first one. Who is God? Go in groups. Okay. I am loving walking around listening to all these conversations, mainly because half of them, you guys are already you're doing my teaching. So, Phil, thank you. I am loving all the conversation. This is, how we should go. I want to do a little bit of sharing how I come to these questions, and then we have some more questions at the end. And I started thinking about what I was going to share this morning, and sometimes I think, I need to share about this, and sometimes it just kind of keeps revealing itself to me. But a few weeks ago, I was away somewhere down south, and I sat on this bench, and it was just overlooking this beautiful fields and trees, and it was September, so the colors was just about turning. There were apple trees everywhere, some of them on the floor, some of them still on the trees. I just sat there and looked at all this beauty, and I thank God for his creation and all he has made that I enjoy. I enjoy being out in nature and being out for walks, and I was like, God, you've made all this and I'm enjoying it. And as I sat there thinking and praying, I had this thought. It was not a brand new thought, but it was just kind of revealed to me in a beautiful brand new way how every single part of creation is an expression of God. Like every single leaf, I was looking at this leaf, every single leaf, every tree, every piece of grass, every flower, every bird, every animal, every person, past, present, or future, is an expression of God. It's like I'm an expression of God. And the same way the person next to me is an expression of God. And that's why we are so different, because we're all expressing a little bit of God. And in that moment, I was just like, that's beautiful. The whole creation. And then I got a little bit frustrated with myself, because I'm like, I will never be able to see the whole world and every creation. I want to go and see Lapland and cold, amazing views, and I want to go in jungles. Well, I don't want to go in jungle. I want to see pictures of jungle, because, snakes and stuff. But I was like, there's all this out there, and every single part of creation tells me and reveals itself a little bit about God and who he is. In Isaiah 42, verse 5, he says this, this is what God the Lord says, the creator of heavens, who stretches them out, who spreads out the earth with all the springs from it, who gives breath to its people and life to those who walk in it. I love that, who stretches them out, who spreads out the earth with all the springs from it. That's God. He created all of that. And that thought just blew my mind. It shouldn't have, because it was not a brand new thought, but it did in that moment. And not so much because I didn't know God was without beginning and the end. That was not something new. But more in that moment, the realization of how little I know of God. I realize that I do know God, but I don't know the fullness of God. If I'm here and I'm looking out my window and it's beautiful out my window, I'm only seeing this expression of God. But there is this. How can my limited human mind, how can my finite mind and imagination think of a God that is infinite, without beginning or without end? Because the more I think about something infinite, the more I'm giving myself a headache. In Psalm 90, verse 2, we read this: before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the whole world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Before everything, He is God. And my mind is trying to conceive that. I'm like, oh, before, but my mind is finite, so my imagination is finite. So I'm like, oh, before the earliest thing I can think of. No, there is even beyond that. And I'm like, okay, further on, I can think of, I'm bubbling because I'm trying to express something unexpressible. I'm trying to use words with something that is undescribable. He is beyond. We cannot know what God is. The infinite is always infinitely beyond what our finite minds can grasp. But we know that God is, because things cannot cause themselves. We know we are here created by the Creator. But beyond that, I can't imagine, because He's the one infinite. He's the one that created me. God is not anything that we can grasp with our hand, eye, or mind. He's not anything that can appear to sight or to mind or to the senses. What we can grasp and what we can appear to our mind or to our senses are the effects of God. The effect, we see His love expressed in people, in events, in around us, but we cannot see. We cannot grasp God. Oh, now I get it. I like to know, and I'm not talking about me personally. Me, Anca Scott, likes to know answers, and I want to know the answers. I want to know I have the answers. And as a mother of toddlers, so far I still have all the answers. They're going to very soon get older than me, and I still won't have the answers. But I want to know this. I have the knowledge to this. I am the expert in this area. I want to know. As people, I think we want to be able to say, I know this, I've got this. And in some areas we can say, I've got this. But the truth is that my mind is finite. I am made by my circumstances and culture and worldview, and from all the external chosen and unchosen factors that have impacted my life up until this moment. I am a product of all those things. I am a product of my parents' childhood that brought me up. I am a product of the country and the time that I grew up in. I am a product of the way I was impacted. I am a product of all those things and so much more. I'm a product of everything that I am aware of and everything that I'm not aware of. I'm a product of that. And I'm here right now thinking, I've got it all. I know what I'm talking about. Well, for my life and my circumstances, I might do. But I am finite. I have a beginning and I have an end. And my mind can only comprehend what has already been or what has already seen. I can't do more than that. I cannot grasp the fullness of God. The same way I cannot grasp the fullness of all creation. Even if, and I was going to Google this, but I didn't get around to it. Even if I went and saw every single country in the whole world, that probably would take me a long time. I cannot see and grasp the fullness of all creation. Therefore, I cannot grasp the fullness of God. He is beyond what I can use my words. In Revelation 1:8, it says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, says the Lord God, who is and was and is to come, the Almighty. He is the beginning, and He is Alpha and Omega. He is the one that was and is to come. I am just part of that. I'm part of His creation. And all this, it got me thinking, if I cannot grasp the fullness of all creation and its glory, How can I claim that I know the fullness of God? All I know is that the more I get to know God, the deeper I go into my relationship with him, the less I realize I actually know him. He is beyond anything my mind can comprehend. The more time I spend with him, the more I realize how little of him I do know, and how much more of him there is still to see and discover. And that is exciting. It's not like, oh no, I know so little of him, poor me. No, that is exciting. I want to get him to know him more. I want to keep discovering every aspect of his love and goodness. And it got me thinking about my relationship with Matthew, my husband. We have known each other for 15 years, married for over 12 years, and I know him pretty well. I think. No, I do know him pretty well. But there was a time when I didn't, and we got to know each other. But I don't know the fullness of him, because how can I? There is still so much to discover and explore together, so much more life to live and experience together. Up until a few years ago, I would have said, yeah, I know him perfectly. More than anybody in this world I know. I know if that sigh means this and that look means that. And then he became a father to a baby. And I'm like, now I get to know this side of him. And then he became a father of 2 and toddlers. And now he's a father of 3. And one day I'm going to see him as a father of teenagers and as a granddad. And there is still to come. So I cannot claim that I know the fullness of him, because there is still so much to discover, and there is still so much to explore together, so many more seasons and stages of life that I want to live and experience with this person. And that is exciting. That excites me. God is infinite and unchanging. He never changes. He never changes his mind about you. He never changes his mind about me. He cannot love you any more or any less than he already does. There is nothing you can do for him to love you more, but there are things you can do to become more aware of his love for you. We're going to spend some time thinking about what some of these things will be. But I wonder if it's us that are changing our minds about him as we see him more and more as he really is. I wonder if it's my perception of him that needs to change rather than him. I wonder if my vision is blurred at times, caused by pain, circumstances, people, events, rather than him changing his mind about me. He is unchanging. He doesn't wake up thinking, I love my beautiful creation, my beautiful children. Oh, they've done something bad, now I don't. Until they get it much better, then I'll change my mind about them. No, that's me. I am like this and thinking, oh, I've done something wrong. I wonder if he still loves me. He doesn't love me anymore. He hasn't spoken to me all day. In the meantime, I've talked all day, so I haven't been able to listen. But he hasn't talked to me all day, and he's changed his mind about me. Surely, by now, he's done with me. And then, oh, now I've read my Bible and I prayed, so I think we're fine again. He is so much bigger than that. He never changes his mind about you. But my vision at times is blurred. And it's caused by pain, circumstances, people, events, anything. But it's not him changing his mind about me. It's me, my perception. So there is nothing you can do for him to love you more, but there are things you can do to become more aware of his love for you. So we're going to have some time again discussing. There's 2 questions this time, and I think they're going to be out there. The first question is, what do you think it means for us to change our minds about him as we see him more and more as he really is? And the second question is, how can you become more and more aware of his love for you? So let's have some question time, and then we will come together and finish. Thank you. Enjoy going back to your groups. I can count. Okay. Thank you for engaging in the conversation. We have to finish now, but keep the conversation going. I think it's yeah, it's great. I maybe encourage you this week to, when you take notice of his creation and thank him for it, and how it is expression of who he is, and just, yeah, keep the conversation going of what does he mean. And I passed one of the groups, and I don't know who he was, and someone said, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure I agree with that. Those are great phrases, because it just means we're on this together. Let's keep learning together.